So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning from my side, and also a very warm welcome to Neuss, nearby Düsseldorf. Achim told many of the things which I wanted to say, but again, thank you very much for coming, and specifically thank you very much to the presenters who took the effort to prepare the presentation and giving the real value to this conference. Without you who are presenting this afternoon, the conference would have very little value. Of course, networking is good, and this is one of the major goals of this conference, but it's also fun is good. Tonight, you are going to the historic old city of Düsseldorf, and we say this is the longest bar of the world. So when I was young, I used to do old city Olympics. So I started by the brewery and went through all the city up to the hotel, and was a nice time. Yeah. So what I will do is now the next few minutes I'm giving you an update of the EPLAN strategy, which most of you are already familiar with, but this also shows our consistent plans to go forward. Okay, so I will start quickly with the key facts and figures. I will give you some information about the group. After that, the strategy in Mechatronics, integrated value chain. The data is already mentioned, is becoming the most important item to go forward, whatever you are doing in the world. And finally, a short summary. So when we look to our organization as a Friedhelm Law Group, we are privately owned. This has big advantages. We are really independent from the stock markets. We are independent from investors. And we have a long-term strategy. If we have a long-term strategy and supported by the owner, Dr. Law, it gives us and you also the security to have the right partner and the right future together. When we look to EPLAN and CDON, meanwhile, we are over 1,200 employees. Alone at EPLAN, we are over 900. So I'm now 7.5 years in the company, and we were about 350, 360 people. So this shows also your commitment to us, because we are growing together with you. Without you, we would not be growing, and we would not be here today. Our sister CDON, this is a company also in software business. I will show later on what we are doing together. Then, of course, our biggest sister, you were yesterday in Innovation Center, who is the global market and technology leader for industry enclosures as well as IT infrastructure. And we are giving together with Rita a unique value, of course, for control cabinets and switchgears manufacturers, and I will also show some examples about that one. What is really new is the Innovo Retail Data Systems, Innovo Cloud. This is a new acquisition which came into the group. Together with Innovo, we are also working now on the cloud solutions. So in the near future, you will hear more and more cloud solutions from EPLAN side, and also today I will show some of them. Finally, the other companies who are in the group of Friedhelm Law. So when we look to the strategy now, what are we going to accomplish? I mean, we always talked in the past about time, cost, and quality, and these words are in the mouth of everybody in every company. But now it's coming to a situation which is called lot size one, or one work piece flow. Okay, so you really make something unique, which is one piece, and should have the same cost as a serial product. And the way to go there is actually standardization and automation. Obviously, when you have these two items fully under control, where you are here for that, and then you configure, you are on the way to get the lot size one done in a very profitable way. And I saw really companies doing, they call it sometimes really one work piece flow. So start, and it's completely unique, and they are very profitable. And connection and collaboration. So this means we need to make sure that we are open, we are integrated, we are well connected, and we have the right infrastructure and data to work with. Now, when we look to EPLAN's and CDON's three strategic levers, this is what we call, the first one is Mechatronics. So what do we do with Mechatronics? I will explain later. EPLAN itself, we are strong in electrical engineering. But as already mentioned before, we are going upstream and downstream. So it's not only the electrical engineering is the focus anymore. Yes, we need to be the world's best, unless you would not be sitting here. But we have to support upstream and downstream in such a way that it's a seamless process. And I think you are the leaders in this area because you are all either interested in configuration or already doing it. And for that, you have the right data. So mechatronics. The second one is the integrated value chain. You saw yesterday how we do it together with Retail in the Innovation Center. But the integrated value chain can be different in your companies for different processes. So the question is how you can go ahead and connect also these processes, not only the systems. Finally, the smart data. Not only the data, static data, the smart data. Smart data means you go and configure your product in such a way that you get the data for your specific needs. I think one of the presentations we are going to see today from Festo will show the right direction in that way. So first of all, the mechatronics. What we are doing in mechatronics is actually a collaboration and communication tool between the three disciplines: electrical, mechanical, and software engineering. So how we do that? We created together with CDON a solution which we call Syngineer. And with Syngineer, we are able to connect the mechanical engineering systems with EPLAN and also PLC and software tools with EPLAN. But also we are able to connect, for example, SolidWorks with AutoCAD without even having any electrical engineering involved. So this means this tool is a collaboration and communication tool for the mechatronics, and it really gives a seamless and real-time information without changing the environment where you are working. And if you are working at EPLAN, you will just create your structure in such a way that if somebody works in AutoCAD or SolidWorks or whatever, they will automatically get the information if something is changed, if something needs to be done. But it also gives the information to management and value chain about the status of the process and how is the development going, etc. So this is a tool, this is the first mechatronics tool that we have created together with CDON. But going forward, you will see also other tools complementary to this one, extending the information that you can get as a mechatronics from EPLAN. The second one is the integrated value chain. So as I said, everybody has a value chain, but the integrated value chain, what we are supporting, is really going from sales up to the operations and service. Traditionally, we are very strong in engineering. This is where we come from, 34 years now, meanwhile. But we started years ago as a pioneer in engineering with the configuration, the first company in the world who started configuration in engineering. Now we go one step further and we can connect our configuration to other tools. It can be Excel tools, it can be SAP, or it can be any other sales configuration tool, and automate the process. I think that is the most important thing, automating the process. And then when we do the detailed engineering, hopefully fully automated, as I said, hopefully fully automated, not always possible, but then how we can go ahead and support production and planning, how we can support production and assembly, so with the tools that we have created like smart wiring, etc. But now we are making one more step and we are going to operations and service, to commissioning. Or you just do, as I said, operation and service. So creating tools that enables people to work with the right data on the right place. That's actually the goal. Here you see how we work. So EPLAN is a company delivering today the engineering solutions, but this is not all what the companies need. They need actually connected enterprises, sorry. We have here some examples what we are doing with PTC, support of service and maintenance, which I will show later in detail. Of course, with SAP as a partner, we are connecting our solutions to them, to their configurators. With Automation ML, we have the possibility now to connect to PLC partners like Rockwell, Mitsubishi, Siemens, Beckhoff, but all others will be also there soon. And finally, for the smart engineering and production with our sister company in Retail and Phoenix. But we have many other partners. So we have the partners in all ERP vendors, all PDM and PLM vendors. So as I said, EPLAN is not alone who is providing the value to you, but with partners. And hopefully with the right partner, okay? So here you see now an example. This is just a control cabinet. And this is how companies are working. The companies are working sometimes manual. This is a benchmark that we got with TS8. And then we also look to companies who are working semi-automated or fully automated. Fully automated like WKC in Chemnitz, etc., Siemens. So how they are doing that, it's actually very simple. And we want to be in a situation to help you that you can really monitor this and you can really see how you can go, whatever you are here, maybe by 36 hours per cabinet to 24 or 26. For that, we developed a tool which we are rolling out to all our people globally. So the tool is called Panel Automation Matrix, and it really analyzes the situation in your company, how you are working today, and give you some suggestions. And the questions are created in such a way that we collected all information what we had as an experience from the last 34 years from our users, from our customers, from our consulting people. We made surveys, we asked companies how they are working, what is the effect, etc. So we put everything in this tool, and this tool allows now us to make a workflow analysis, what you are doing. So I will not do a new one, I will just load a simple data, and I will show some of the questions. For example, we are asking how many panels are you doing, number of employees, etc. Number of panels built per year, regardless the size. How many employees are creating schematics, as an example. So then how many of these panels have more than 500 wires? Because once you have the 450 to 500 wire limit, then you can start really optimizing. So how many of these cabinets, 500 wires? Who is responsible for the control panel engineering, in-house, outside? What documents do you use in manufacturing? Paper, terminal diagrams, wiring lists, or whatever. How do you structure your bills of material? Okay, there are only 12 questions, as I said, and you can answer them by yourself. How do you fabricate the wires for the control panels? Finally, what documents do you use for the wiring process? Schematic, wiring connection lists, etc. How do you create the component levels? And how our holes and cutouts are made, like you saw yesterday in the Innovation Center? And how do you assemble your terminal strips? And finally, which method do you use for cutting the mounting rails? So as I said, 12 easy questions, and you can answer them by yourself. And then what we do is we immediately give you a report which says calculate. So what it makes is that it really sees that where you can optimize how much time. Okay, and what you are doing today, for example, you say enclosure modification, it says here improve. Current is manual drilling, so you go whatever and drill. I can use a Perforex, I can save changes, okay, and then I can go and see now panel costs. So what I do in kitting, how much time I can save, etc. And finally, you see here, with a small change from 28 hours, what was done before, now you can go to 20 hours. And then you have a panel cost, and then you can optimize it. So this is, as I said, this is complementary from us to you. You can ask any EPLAN colleague in the future, and they will be very happy to give you a short questionnaire, and then you will get the report. And then you can use this report as you want in your company to improve the things. So this was the production and how we can go really from 58 hours to 24 hours. And it would be, as I said, we would be happy to do that. The next one is the PDM and smart data. So this is a picture which says data is the new oil. We were saying in the past for engineering, and I think it's becoming for everything. So whatever you do in the world, as soon as you start digitalizing or automation or standardization, whatever you do, data is the key. Without data will nothing work. So here you see example of what we have today at EPLAN with our data portal. Meanwhile, we have almost 190,000 people are using data portal, EPLAN data portal, and it's increasing day by day. And you can imagine some of our customers, they only download once as the master data and put on a server, local server. So this means there are actually much more people are using the data from the data portal. 250% increase of the vendors which we put in. It is now 245, as I said, growing also day by day. The most important thing is that now the intelligence is coming inside. So going from data, we are going to smart data, like you will see from Festo today or Anderson Hauser and others. So you define your specification, and based on that, you get the digital data, which is smart, because it really fulfills all the information that you require, and also give the data to work with. Okay. So the next one is what we are going to do with data portal. This is only the first step. What we want is that data portal will come to Spotify, I would say call it Spotify, of engineering for automation projects. So this is our goal. And this is a long, long, long way to go there, I know. But once we have all these configurators included into the data portal, which really gives the smart data, the number of the components which are available are going to infinitive, theoretically. I think it was last year or the year before from Festo, the presentation where they showed the number which you can configure as a data, which is unlimited, as far as I remember. It was very interesting. So this is one thing, is that Spotify of engineering, data, then community and collaboration. So we really want to make two things. One is the community spirit, that the data quality can be increased, because once you as users or partners, you put the right stars on the right spot, our partners from the component vendors, they will make sure that the quality of the data will increase and also supports the complete value chain. The next one is the collaboration. So we are now, the next step is creating a OEM portal where really the manufacturer, machine builder, and operator can communicate through the OEM data portal for their specific needs. This is already happening in some companies like Volkswagen. They create a master data and they give it to their suppliers. But with this OEM portal, it will be much more easier and seamless. Seamless means seamless. The next one is the user interface has been changed and improved. Please give also feedback here. My colleague from Data Portal, Dimitrios, is here. Stolakis here. Please catch him, and if you have needs, tell him also. And again, focus is on our users, and his focus is, as Achim said before, have the data in such a way that it is seamless support of all your requirements, from sales, configuration, up to maintenance and service. Okay. So here you see a picture. This is in a elevator. When the elevator goes down, it was, I think, in a train station where this picture has been taken from one of my colleagues. And he saw this documentation, electrical documentation for the maintenance. So what is really unknown is that if the documentation is really up to date, and if he makes any changes, how this information goes back to the central part data, that in the future, the right information for the maintenance and service is also available. So if he makes redlining, how he makes sure that all documentation change, etc. So the idea is having a digital documentation for this part, for the elevator, or for any control cabinet. I mean, this will be probably the next step of the next users will be the control cabinets, because they will have just a QR code. If you scan it, you will have your full documentation in your hand. Depends on how you stored and shared it. But when I say store and share the first solution that we are created are purely cloud-based, not the first solution. Data Portal is cloud-based, Engineer is cloud-based, but now store, share, and view. This is a new step that we are going, as we said at the beginning, to support the complete value chain. Okay, complete value chain up to service and maintenance, but also at the commissioning part. So what we are doing is that the users who are working with EPLAN on-site on engineering can now upload the data, the project, parts of the project or the whole project to the cloud with the rights that they can give to certain people with certain different accesses, okay? And this opens now really a huge market for use cases, because the commissioning can be always done with the latest documentation. If they change something, the redlining goes automatically back as information to the system, to the engineer who is actually designing the system. But also it's for sharing and collaboration. So you can now take the complete project, and if you are an OEM or a big company who are working with partners, you can share the parts of the project with your partners and then collect the information back if there are any changes. As I said, it's a huge number of use cases that you can really create and use with Store, Share, and View. We showed the first version in Hannover Fair, and it's coming out now in November with the PLC drives or SPS in Nuremberg to the market. So I want to show one more use case which I mentioned at the beginning with the Store, Share, View, what can be happen, and if we work with partners. And with partners means that we created a joint use case with PTC. And this is really with supporting service and maintenance with augmented reality. So it's not only supporting the service and the maintenance, but once we get to a new technology, the augmented reality, so with a tablet or with in the future with the glasses or whatever, you will get many other possibilities to automate the processes and get better what you are doing today. So what's happening is here is that based on the ThinkWorks, you can scan the system, the real part, and then you get the 3D model. And based on this 3D model, it's automatically, because it's connected with Store, Share, and View, you jump from the augmented reality model into the EPLAN schematics and identify there the component. Okay, so actually, the last time we had a press conference in Hannover, Store, Share, and View is so easy to use, even I could present it, but I'm skipping it today because there's too much presentations then. So the next one is that display the cabinet with the defect part, defect component, and finally going to the EPLAN data portal and localizing and getting the part. So it's all connected. This is one of the use cases which we created together with PTC, but we are creating many use cases with many other companies, and the goal actually in the future is if you want to automate the processes, the new technologies like augmented reality, artificial intelligence, or whatever, they will be much more interesting, or analytics. So you will hear also in EPLAN in future a lot of news and a lot of solutions in this area. So this will be one of our goals, that we really support the latest technologies available in the market to support you more. Because our goal at the end is that making you successful. If you are successful, we will be successful and growing in the same speed. So now I want to come to a small and make some summary with some words. So first of all, you heard what we do at EPLAN is really concentrating on the needs of what we hear from you. So the collaboration and connection inside the mechatronical engineering was always a subject. Many companies, even today, creating departments which call mechatronics. So not only silos like electrical engineering department, mechanical engineering department, and software engineering. So the people are sitting together in agile developments and working together in a mechatronical way. So how we support this one. More important, or as important as the first one, is how we support your value chain. Not only what we think the value chain is, but how we support your value chain, that you become more successful there and create standards and automate the processes. And finally, we create the right data to support all these three items. So this is going forward. So what is then our vision? First of all, everybody hears this name, virtual digital twin, virtual prototype, or whatever you call it. But I think the important thing is really complete virtual product development process, which supports the total project, the total representation of the machine, and not additional learnings from live operations, even before. Of course, you need to go back and iterate. It's not always the case that digital twins are always 100%, right? The second one is the flexibility via building blocks and standardization for the lot size 1, again. So lot size 1, making it profitable. If we can reach that one, as company, it doesn't matter what you are producing, you'll be very successful. So using the engineering data throughout complete product life cycle. As I said, we need to be the Spotify which offers all music for engineering. Starting from the sales configuration, going to the engineering, the production planning, production and assembly, and service operations. And finally, at some day, we are connecting also our systems to the machines to get some information for predictive maintenance, etc. So we are also looking at subjects like this one. Digital data and seamless integration of systems. So you have your big picture in your company when you look to the infrastructure. So the big picture always starts with maybe PLM tools or ERP tools. You have your engineering, you have your whatever, then it goes to the production. So how can you connect that or seamless integrate all these together? So without any media breaks, without any breaks that you go back to manual work. So seamless integration for automated engineering. The last one is actually the most important one, because when you talk about Industry 4.0 or IoT or whatever you call it, you are talking about integration of processes. So systems first, yes. I connect EPLAN with ThinkWorks or Team Center or whatever you call it. But I have a process for sales in the company. I have a process for engineering. And even in engineering, I have maybe 10 other different processes for different disciplines. And then up to logistics and delivery to customer, etc. So the question is digital and seamless integration of these processes with each other, because this will help you to grow really rapidly if you can reach that one. And I think you are all on the way to that. And what we would like to do is be your partner doing that. And we will be doing it with all our forces, what we have, and support you. And thank you for your support also to us. Thank you very much.